to continue on with Ole Miss, Coach Davis, along with Matthew Morrell and Jarkel Joyner. We'll ask Coach for some general comments on the game, and then we'll take your questions just for the student athletes, and then excuse them and finish up with Coach. So, Coach, would you begin?
Yeah, give Missouri a lot of credit. They played well all three times against us. I thought that we came out. Our biggest lead was 5, with about maybe 5:30 to go in the first half. We've been really challenged all year long of finishing halves and starting second halves, and it kind of reared its head up tonight. I thought Missouri, I thought we had some good spots of physical play, but in the end, I thought their team, they beat us by 12 on the boards, physical in the paint. So tonight they played really well, and I thought they were extremely competitive in the second half.
All right, we'll take questions just for the two student athletes, and we'll begin on the right side. Go ahead.
Jarkel, you had 10 points in the first half, 3 on 1 of 7 shooting in the second. What did they kind of do defensively to maybe make the second 20 minutes a little tougher for you?
I just miss layups. I miss wide open jumpers. So I feel like the defense was doing the same thing. I just missing. That's it.
Go ahead. You have another one?
Yeah, for Matthew, obviously. With the season, you guys had higher expectations coming into this year than how you ended it. I guess what's kind of the message in the locker room amongst the players and how you kind of, handle this and move forward with it?
We all know that this season was it wasn't planned to go this way, but we all just making sure in the off season we just working hard and coming back next year with vengeance and ready to play and ready to shock the world.
Other questions? Raise your hand for either of the student athletes. Right side.
Yeah, for either of you guys, playing against Missouri 3 times, was there anything different that they did today, and kind of what made them so tough to match up against this entire season?
Like Coach said, just physicality. We need to match their physicality. This game, we changed the game plans. We started switch 1 through 4 and 1 through 5. Credit them. They just got to the rim and made plays.
Same for Jarkel.
Same, most definitely.
Other questions? Raise your hand for either. All right, fellas, we'll excuse you. You can return to the locker room. We'll continue on with questions for Coach Davis, so raise your hand, and we'll get a floor microphone to you. Hands up. All right, let's start on the front row right here.
Coach, obviously you've been at this for quite a while. A loss to end the season, or at least probably end the season, how do you take that and how do you have that discussion with your guys? First, the guys are leaving, and then the guys that, are coming back.
Yeah, it's, I think this is, 38 or 39 years in college basketball, and it's probably been the most uniquely challenged, with some of the guys that we've lost. We lost, the highest rated player that's ever played here, Deshaun Ruffin, who was just finding his way and tore his ACL. We lost our toughest defender, Robert Allen, the Memphis game. We beat Memphis. And then obviously Jarkel, he's still not 100%, had back procedures. So but every loss is just excruciating to us and our players, and because it wasn't. We envisioned us to be an NCAA tournament team, and I still think that no excuses, that we're whole. I think we didn't look like one tonight. But it's such a different day and time right now than 20 years ago or 10 years ago with the transfer portal. So I know one thing with Deshaun Ruffin coming back and these two guys right here, and we got 4 guys in our high school class that'll be a top 20 class, is that we've got a great foundation. And we have got to develop the guys back, and then can't miss in the portal. We can't miss. And, and we've got to go and find guys that are physical, that like to compete and can do it in this league. Last year we swept Auburn and Kentucky, and we won the 4th most games in this league. And you think about both those teams now have a chance to win the national championship. So you can get well in a hurry. We're going to get well in a hurry. And this is not what we came to Ole Miss to do. And you can get well in a hurry. So it's a tough loss, and the message to our players, we got to go to work, and we're not going to let them down. We're not going to let Ole Miss down, and we're going to get to work and build a roster that's going to be able to compete with the very best in this league.
All right, question on the right side. Go ahead.
You mentioned the 5-point lead you guys had in the first half. Obviously, they tied up at halftime and get that 11-0 run right away to start the second half. I mean, how much do you kind of think that shifted the game, and why was it so tough, I guess, after that 11-0 run to kind of get back into it?
I've never we have been so inept in the last 2 or 3 minutes of first halves all year. It's amazing. It's just amazing. Just balls going in, half-court shots going in, or our inability to guard, and then our inability to start second half. We've done everything imaginable, trying to do things to get us better. Credit Missouri. They were just tougher. They present really tough matchups. I mean, our big center, has not really played great against them, and we can't take advantage of his size, and they sure take advantage of their Kobe Brown and Brazil, those guys driving the ball and shooting threes. So it's just been a bad mismatch for us. I mean, we've had a lot of success against Missouri before. We beat them last year twice when they were ranked in the top 10. But Conzo, they just did. They're a tough matchup for us for some reason, and they just played well all 3 games. So give them a lot of credit.
Other questions? Back to the right side.
You mentioned it earlier, just having no excuses with the circumstances you've overcome, but obviously they've been tough, and you guys have had some hard-fought games. I mean, is that kind of something that you would try to instill in this team and talk about moving forward? Just how close you were maybe in some of those matchups you maybe shouldn't have been.
Yeah, and I mean it's still on us, even with the even the loss of the key players that we've had. I mean, we lost overtime at Florida, lost overtime at Tennessee, double overtime to South Carolina, 2 or 3 other one-possession games, and we haven't made plays at the end of games. And you watch college basketball, and it's not the tricky plays. These guys just go making a play at the end, whether it's Chattanooga that makes one at 38 or 39 feet to win a game. I mean, so it has. It's just been some misfortune, and hopefully it's through, and we've just got to do a better job. I do. I think what's in place coming back and what we've got, but we've got to go in that transfer portal and get some athletic guys that can go play. The night that we played Kentucky and played them well, 5-point game with 1:30 to go, but when they tipped it up, they started 4 transfers. And I've been in this league with my dad coaching since I was 5 years old, and you couldn't imagine that Kentucky would have 4 transfers to start senior night at Kentucky, But it's just kind of the way of the world. And credit Cal and Bruce both, what they did to resurrect their rosters. And so that's what we've got to do.
Raise your hand. Other questions for Coach Davis? Hands up. All right, back to the right side.
You talk a lot about the things you want to do in the offseason. Have you had any talks with the administration? How confident are you that you'll be that guy at the helm going into next season?
Yeah, I have conversations. Look, I know exactly. Ole Miss is. I've got an unbelievable AD. He was a big part of the process with Ross when they hired me 4 years ago. We've been to the 2 postseasons in 4 years, and I thought we're an NCAA tournament team last year and the last Power 5 team to start. But it's a big boy league, and I get it. And but I've got a great AD. We're going to work day and night to get this thing flipped next year. And they've given us every resource to be successful at Ole Miss, so it's right on us. And so we're going to go out and put together a roster that the Ole Miss fans can be proud of. And we're going to be right here next year, hopefully playing for seeding in the NCAA tournament and having a great chance to win it in Nashville.
Time for one more question for Coach Davis. Anyone? All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.